Welcome, 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 trivalent beings of spirit, mind, and body. Time for the Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solution Show, sponsored by Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation, also known as Proof. Its mission is to spread the trivalent understanding noetics, featuring stand-up philosophy that includes anthropology, psychology, biology, metaphysics, medicine, psychodrama, comedy, and music through a genre called edutainment, educating while entertaining, coined by KRS-One. The host of this wonderful show is Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED-D1, and myself, co-host, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods, MED, PhD, MED-D2. Well, greetings. You already know. I have the M.
No, she doesn't. She has a PH. I have the M.
Yes.
We both have D.
That makes us
Doc squared.
Doc squared. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
y'all.
yes.
It happens like that sometimes.
Sometimes
The
it's
title.
life.
Yeah. The title of the show is Atta Boy. It's all about that attitude.
Yeah, it is. Now, before we get into that, Hip Hope Trio Plus. We've had 2 meetings and 1 rehearsal.
Imagine that. Yes.
Magnificent. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. It was stupendous. And we also had the best rehearsal that we've had probably as a group.
Ashe.
And if the Lord says the same and the ancestors agree, we're getting ready for that major concert that will notify the world that we have arrived. We are the only people doing edutainment concerts that will change your life. One performance of the Hip Hope Trio Plus will change how you live your life.
The picture that you see right now is a performance we did at Mocha for, I think it was enthusiastic, or it was for a program that they were having there.
Museum of Cultural Art.
Oh, Mocha, yes.
Uh-huh.
And the young man that you see, Pink Eye, he is an impersonator for James Bond.
Yes, and he looks just like him. He does.
Yes, he does. And the insert of Kenya,
KK.
KK,
Okay.
is inserted because she hadn't joined us yet. She's a part of us now and have been for quite a while.
Yes, she is.
So
She's
we
our
want to make
music
sure
director.
that we give a shout out for all our members.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get to work by starting class.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start class today the way that we start class at Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation. We start every class by reading the preamble to the affirmations of the wounded soul.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. And that goes like this. I will live in the light, warmed by truth and embraced by grace. I will remain a defender of the symbols of life. I will eliminate evil. Evil is the shadow of lies that seeks to blot the illumination of the human spirit. Evil cannot grow in my life unless it is cultivated by hate, watered by the clouds of guilt and shame, then fertilized by the fetid, foul, failed fruits of fear, such as envy, greed, jealousy, fear of lack, fear of pain, fear of death, or the worst fear of all, fear of fear itself. As I eliminate fear, guilt, shame, and hate, the light of my spirit will grow brighter and brighter, unconsciously giving permission for all around me to do the same.
Ashe.
Ashe. The words I've just spoken have little to no meaning of or by themselves. But the images these words produce give both direction and protection. They direct you to adopt a certain attitude regarding your life and how to live it.
Imagine that. Yes.
The images of affirmations of the wounded soul all direct you to the operations of what is termed your Christ consciousness. Okay, Christ consciousness. Here we got all this stuff together.
Right.
It is the part of the message and the attitude that Yeshua ben Yosef, that would have been the person that the Roman Catholic Church christened Jesus Christ, when the Jews had no J in their alphabet at that time. His name would have been Yeshua ben Yosef, and this is what he adopted in religious literature and told others to also adopt. It was the light of his spirit that gave permission for others to do the same things he was doing. And the affirmations of the wounded soul, specifically the preamble, reflects that light back to you. But it is the protective aspect of the affirmation of the wounded soul that is the most significant, since it is a block against the effects of fear, hate, guilt, and shame, and a whole assortment of other anxieties, worries, and problems that, we are told, are the things life is made of. But that is only truth if you live it as such.
I think we can put the flight up now for protective and
Yes. Imagine for yourself.
direct.
Everybody listening, close your eyes and just imagine that you have no fear, no hate, no guilt, no shame. Imagine that those emotions were things that you could eliminate with not just a thought, but a picture, an image. That is what is offered you in the affirmations of the wounded soul. You are the author of your own story. And whether it's a tragedy or a heroic legend / saga will depend not only on how much money, property, titles, or training you obtain, but on the only thing you alone control: your attitude. You can never wear the finest clothes from the best designer, but how straight and upright you are will primarily depend on your attitude.
Imagine that. Attitude.
Attitude. We got a brief note from Mr. Charles Swindoll, who is a religious writer and pastor, and that may help you to see it. Attitude. Mr. Charlie Swindoll writes, "The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude, to me, is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a school, a church, or a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day." And my statement to that is, no, it isn't a daily thing. This is a moment by moment thing. Your attitude can change, as we all know, from second to second. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that certain people will react in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have. And here he's showing that he's a musician, or at least thinks like one, playing on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. Okay, hold on just a second. I have to interrupt this at this point in time because in the first legal, what's the name of the holiday we did at Dunham?
It's Juneteenth
Juneteenth.
celebration.
At the first official Juneteenth celebration, which we performed at Dunham Tavern Museum, we made note of the fact that Cat Williams, another guy from Ohio, says, pardon, but I'm going to quote Cat. Cat says, in America, it's not the shit that happens to you. What matters is what you do when the shit happens to you. That was Charlie Swindell in another way. Because they both are saying the same thing with different words. Okay. Now, and then Charlie Swindell goes on to say, and so that is with you. We are all in charge of our own attitudes. Yes, but unfortunately, there are forces that act on us to affect our attitudes. One that we have mentioned before is called the grapes of wrath. First mentioned by John Steinbeck in the novel, The Grapes of Wrath. Steinbeck described this force as a disabling energy that comes from a people whose purpose or reason for being has been blocked, thwarted, or denied. They develop this disabling energy. And there was a guy by the name of Mississippi Charles Bevel. Mississippi, I call him Sippy, wrote a song all about the grapes of wrath. But he titled the song Not of Season because he made the astute observation that human beings are the only beings on this planet who do not have a mating season. We will make winter, spring, summer, fall, day, night, it doesn't matter. In the meantime, in between time, all the time, we mate. But Sippy said that the grapes of wrath, this disabling energy, often coming from those closest to this child, generally their parents, who warn the child based on the parents' experience with life. Boy, you better not go down there and do it. No, you better not be messing around there without no money. Look here, let me tell you. We have all been the focus of talks like that as young children.
Yes.
And they put a certain degree of anxiety, fear, and trepidations in everyday living. This stains the child's spirit because now he's got images that he has never experienced. Parents have, or others who were close enough to advise him and him to listen. But he now carries those images around in his spirit. And these images are disabling. Well, the Hip Hop Trio got permission from Sippy to do his song a little different way, and we call the song The Grapes of Wrath. Peep this, y'all. Head down. Babies coming to this world, not a season. Even if we don't, they know the reasons. And the one who sends them, gives them gifts to care. Tells them, children, take your time, but do not tarry. You will all arrive but naked, equally endowed to make it. You should have everything you need when you get there. But you should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. You should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. Gods and babies, they don't know how we are divided. If they did to send them, never would have been decided. Red and brown, black and white, how we mock them. Rich and poor, high or low, is how we stock them. Why do we make those distinctions when we don't have an inkling of what each child will bring, how they'll share? We just take their gifts and crush like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. So we all get in line for a young one. Some will grab 10 or 12, some will get none. And the children chose by rich ones will be pampered, while the children left to poor ones will be hampered. Why do we act like such heathens when every known religion teaches us each and every child is in our care? But we just take their gifts and crush them like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath.
Yes, we send them out to harvest.
Yes, we send them out to harvest.
Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Whoa, Wow. Those are some grapes. And having to eat of those grapes kind of sours our children, twists them in a way that is not beneficial, and has all of humanity eating those same grapes, having those same fears, living those same anxieties, and dealing with those same disabling emotions. On the other side of those grapes is a situation spelled out by my edutainment novel, The Blessings of Slavery.
Imagine it.
Suppose The Blessings of Slavery ask a question. Suppose you ask your higher power, by whatever name you know him/her, for a gift, say courage. Would your higher power simply give you your request, or would he/she put you in a circumstance to develop, build, or strengthen that aspect of your being you wish to improve. I have asked that question to thousands of people, and more than 90% of them, when asked this question, answered number two. They said that their higher power would place them in a situation that allows for the development of the desired gifts. So it was with our ancestors, the first human beings created by God, declared by those God never made as not being human. You see, God never made pink people. He allowed them to occur. But the Alkebulanese who left Alkebulan and went up into Europe to meet these Neanderthal humanoids, they had no permission from God to do any of that stuff. And the Neanderthals were white, not like pink people. No, they were actually white. So when our ancestors mated with them, the result came out was pink. Absolutely. They lived in caves, wore animal skins, and ate each other. But God allowed them to be because God had a reason. That reason had to do with us. As slaves, our ancestors had to lean heavily into ordinary everyday events like eating, talking, working, wearing clothes, or just walking down the street. But they did these things with such a flash and a dash
Imagine that.
that none had ever had before. Oh, God, yes. Enslaved ancestors had to lean heavily into ordinary. Yes, indeed. They became completely involved in topics like freedom, liberty, salvation, justice, and humanity itself. So much so that over the last 50 to 100 years, it is our ancestors who are mentioned whenever struggles are undertaken to receive justice and freedom demanded by their humanity. It was these same ancestors who adjusted their own attitudes to become not slaves, but artists in home decor.
And speaking of artists, one of our artists, that is our musical director, has joined us, Darren Jones.
Hey y'all!
Hi y'all! Hi y'all!
Yeah. Hey y'all! Right on back. We loving you, girl. Okay, our ancestors became artists in all arts: sculpture, painting, music, dance,
Imagine that, yes.
food, which had never been artistry before. Our ancestors created Southern cooking that turned food into art. And they also put a little artistry into politics. See Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, et al.
Yes.
Yes, we put artistry into politics. And that means that you put a little bit of yourself into whatever you're trying to artistify. And as every artist knows, you pay that price. The artist always pays the price. And the Hip Hop Trio Plus has a little duty that says about the same thing. And it tells you to listen. Hold on before we get into the song. Listening. Listening means you make pictures out of what you hear. Today's children don't have very much of a listening ability because they've always had pictures. They've always had televisions and movies and smartphones and VCRs and stuff like that. We didn't. We just had radio, and so we had to learn to listen. We had to learn to make pictures out of what we heard. That's a skill and an art that is not only missing but sorely needed by today's youth. It will tell you to listen. It means it. Listen to the artist pays the price.
The artist pays a price, so you don't have to pay. If only you would listen to what he has to say. There are songs from wisdom, there are songs from hating, there are songs from loving, and there are songs from Satan. There are songs from lust, there are songs from pain. Some songs were done by chosen men, some men insane. Move to groove on the line one time. Move children to the right side. Advance children to the light. We're looking good. Oh, advance children to the light. Some songs will show you which way to go. If only you would listen.
Listen up.
There are songs to turn you on, show you how much is missing. Songs we're meant to listen to, be checking out the best. Good songs were sent to man from God to help us pass the test. Life is for learning, and the purpose is joining up with the Lord. 1,000 bodies needed, but your soul is never destroyed. Your love, darling, this is all you require. And all you want is a little understanding today. Sometimes songs can prophesy, warn from the master. Make your soul listen to him, to make you learn it faster. The devil has a special plan to make hot songs for sinners. Then God will turn it around, make good songs for winners. Hey, you know some songs can corrupt your flesh to dust. The only song that you can live are the songs that you can trust. The artist pays a price. Oh, you don't have to.
Wow. Nah, I hope you like that song. I don't really care, because I loved it. I liked doing it. Believe it or not, we got any calls? We got any questions?
I have something I want to add.
Okay, please.
We are planning to collect gifts for Kwanzaa to give to leaders in the community.
Yes.
And I failed to make the slide for it, but I'll have it ready for you next week so you'll know who to contact to donate a gift. If you don't have to do it in material things, you can do it monetary as well, and we'll let you know how to do that as well. But join us in gifting others.
Yes.
Gifting
We
others.
like doing that. Now, we had a call?
No.
Oh, we don't. Okay, then that's it, y'all. Stay tuned in 7 days for the next show.
Yes.
Now, next show, I don't know. The ancestors will tell me, and away we'll go.
When we miss a show, always still tune in to see our blast from the past, because that's what we replace it with. And sometimes it doesn't get put up that same evening, but the next day it usually is.
I got a
So
question.
check it out.
Oh, come on with your question then, my brother.
Why such a short show today? It's only half an hour.
That's a good question. I don't know, man.
That's the way the Most High wanted it to
That's
be.
exactly the way.
It wasn't
the
in our
Most High wanted
plans.
it. No, believe it, it was not. I came out, and my wife and I discussed this earlier. I had a total different idea for a show. And when I went to write it, guy said, that ain't supposed to be the show. This is supposed to be the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, okay, all right.
Now, since we have Darren Jones on the show, she's joined us. If you have a question, you can type it in or call in if you'd like.
We need a question or two. Where's time when you need it?
Do know that the show we did today is enlightening just as the others are. Each one has information that you can use. So don't just look at it once. Go back over and over.
I got a
and
question, Dan.
And look at the programs, the shows
Now
we've
you
had
only
before.
get two. This is your second one. So come on.
Nah, this is all I need is one.
Okay.
And this is totally kind of off the subject. With everything that's going on today,
Uh-huh.
and you called it. You said this is the year of truth and revelation or something
Yes,
like that.
indeed. I said that.
What do you think all that's going on with this Diddy stuff? The Diddler. They call him the Diddler now.
Oh, well, of course, they would call him that. That's what he does. But, again, as I said a year and a half ago, this is going to be the year when a whole bunch of stuff that has been swept up under the rug gets brought out for everybody to see. A whole bunch of things that have been kept out of the major media that everybody knew was going on.
Yeah.
Everybody knew what. Come on now, y'all.
But it's
when
being
he was
brought
with
to the
Biggie,
light.
they were doing orgies and stuff, and Biggie was writing about them and rapping about them. And come on, we all knew what was happening, but it was not spread out to the larger media audience. Now, all of that's coming out, and my brother, we haven't even started. Macon, Georgia, checking in on grapes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Right. There we go.
Well, Madonna say thank you and Tweet
Outta
for
Macon.
joining us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Out of Macon, Georgia. We kind of have some friends and family down in
That's right. That's Tata's husband.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Brother Lou, what's up, man?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You got a question for the show, man, before we sign off? Well, you finished talking about the Diddler, Doc?
Uh-huh, pretty much. None? Okay, man.
Again, go back and review the shows. Yes.
That's it. I'm through. We're over. I'm not even sorry that it took 30 some odd minutes. This is what God gave me to give you.
Yes.
I ain't mad. I kind of liked it. I like doing it. I like giving it.
Good show.
I think so.
That's it.
So as a result, we will say
Peace.
which stands for
Proper education always corrects error. Love y'all.
Yeah, we do.
May the Lord bless you and the ancestors continue to protect you.
Oh, you made it to the end of the video. Well, I am tired a little bit differently. I'm dressed as Baba Amwa. If you would like more of your own understanding, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
And go to the sites that we have listed around us. The Most High is good.
And the ancestors are kind
Thanks
for having us on your mind.